This is 7 News, the voice of the Central West.
Tonight, a man is charged after a lengthy investigation into the death of a child in floodwaters.
Police release footage of a ram raid as they appeal for the public's help.
I'm Daniel Gibson. Later on this news hour, Israel drops bombs on a school hours before a ceasefire to swap prisoners. And violence erupts after 3 children are attacked in a stabbing rampage.
7 News begins now.
Good evening. A case involving the tragic death of a child in Tullamore has now taken an unexpected turn.
The driver of a vehicle swept into floodwaters with a 5-year-old trapped inside, now charged with manslaughter.
14 months on from the devastating incident at the McGreenway Causeway, a man has been charged.
The road was actually closed, the warning devices and signage in place. The driver, one of the reasons, has continued through, and that's led to him being on the causeway and being swept off that causeway, leading to the vehicle to become submerged.
The 4 other occupants were able to escape the vehicle in September last year, but a young boy was trapped inside and drowned. Yesterday, the 38-year-old male driver was arrested at Surrey Hills Police Station. He's facing multiple charges, including manslaughter. Police putting the length of the investigation down to complexities in the case.
It's obviously a very sensitive and delicate investigation, being a unfortunate death of a young child. You've got the impact of police responding to that incident along with the other emergency services, and the matter was obviously initially reported through the coroner.
This case a reminder of the need to abide by signage.
If warning signs are placed, there is normally good reasons why they're in that situation, so we just urge people to comply with those signage and postage and not contradict that warning.
The driver has been refused bail and will appear at Downing Centre Local Court in January. Charlotte Wallen, 7 News.
2 boys have been charged over multiple aggravated break-and-enters into a Dubbo retirement village. The pair allegedly targeting some of the city's most vulnerable residents. As the youth crime wave mounts up, some of their actions even hospitalising police officers.
As the sun rises in Dubbo, residents are woken by the reckless actions of those driving a suspected stolen car. After countless donuts, the offenders show not a care in the world. Bang after bang, the destructive behaviour was caught on camera by locals. The youth crime wave surging on. In a separate incident, a 15 and 16-year-old allegedly stole a car, crashing it into a police vehicle, injuring 2 officers who were then taken to hospital. Police say the pair just a day later also allegedly broke into multiple units inside a Dubbo retirement village, as well as a local business. Police eventually catching the accused boys, who have been charged and formally refused bail. It comes as a crime prevention and community safety conference gets underway in Gunnedah, hoping that issues raised from regional New South Wales aren't ignored by Macquarie Street.
I think it's part of what we have to do here today is to convince them to change their mind.
So there are sort of pockets within regional New South Wales where we're seeing a much higher number of car thefts being reported to police than what we have previously seen, which is indicative of something that is, potentially quite problematic and really needs some future sort of consideration.
Consideration before somebody is killed or seriously injured by the alarming behaviour. Hamish Southwell, 7 News.
Shocking vision has emerged of a service station smash and grab in Bathurst. 2 men armed with knives allegedly used a white vehicle to ram the Jazzbee on Sydney Road in the early hours of October 27. With their faces covered, they can be seen jumping the counter before stealing cash and cigarettes. The men then hop back in the vehicle and drive off. Police have now released CCTV and they're appealing for anyone with information to come forward.
A proposed solar farm outside of Bathurst will next week be brought under the Independent Planning Commission's spotlight. It's part of a planning process with some nearby residents hoping the project doesn't go any further.
11 kilometres east of Bathurst, one energy company has a vision to transform the countryside, but the plan has not been welcomed by those who walk this land every day.
Fighting the proposals is incredibly stressful for communities. So you've got people who have invested their livelihoods in building up their properties, who care for the land.
Elgin Energy want to develop a 60 megawatt solar farm, associated infrastructure and battery storage right here. And it's now time for the community to have their say during a public meeting.
This is prime cultivation land that they're talking about throwing toxic chemicals and infrastructure onto.
A fear that our nation's much-needed food bowl will be impacted. The opportunity to voice concerns comes after more than 50 submissions objected the proposal. The decision on whether the Glanmire Solar Farm will be given planning approval is now in the hands of the Independent Planning Commission.
You need to take the views of the community on board. They are the ones that are living and breathing this area each and every day.
The key issues identified in the State Planning Department's assessment of the current solar development application include land use compatibility, loss of agricultural land and the visual impact.
They should be put into renewable energy zones. That's why they were established.
We're really encouraging people to register so that they have the opportunity to get in front of the IPC.
All so a considered decision can be made. The project's developer has been contacted for comment. Ruben Spargo, 7 News.
Emergency crews have battled a car fire which turned out to be anything but ordinary. Parked on the side of the Castlereagh Highway at Capertee, it's believed a fire started in the engine compartment before spreading. The issue, the vehicle was transporting fireworks. Each explosion ignited surrounding grassland, but sometime later both fires were extinguished. The ute, however, was unable to be saved, with the driver and emergency crews escaping without any injury.
Rugby league fans are tonight not alone in feeling excited for next year's Curie Knockout. Bathurst's hospitality businesses are licking their lips, anticipating the population boom.
As the largest Indigenous event in the country, over 30,000 people will next year descend on our city to take part in a cultural and sporting gathering. And after the date and destination was announced, fans were quick to secure their spot amongst the action.
We had a lot of phone calls actually, people trying to get accommodation. We booked out very quickly, which is awesome.
70 rooms, sleeping up to 160 people from October 4th to the 7th, 1 week before the great race.
That's a big chunk of revenue for us, and I'm sure everyone else around town is pretty much in the same boat.
Accommodation is now all but booked as rugby league fever spreads beyond the Bathurst border at a time when people are spending less money with our local businesses.
Dead set hasn't stopped for the last sort of week and a half since it was announced. Going to eat and drink and sleep, and yeah, it's good for everyone in town. The pie shops, the butcher shops, everyone.
I'm not surprised. Business owners are just starting to realise the economic gains and
Only adding to the on-field benefits, the tournament is widely considered a training ground for future NRL stars, while also showcasing current and former players.
It's a really good example of self-determination. It's because our people are running it, our people are managing it.
It's a spectacle few fans will want to miss.
To the mob out there that haven't got accommodation yet, don't panic.
There's plenty more rooms for rent around the Central West. Ruben Spargo, 7 News.
2 inpatient beds for new parents have been axed from Cowra's hospital redevelopment. It means certain specialised services provided by the Parenting Association Tresillian will not be available in town, with families now required to travel to Sydney or Canberra to get treatment.
But there are some times where an inpatient facility is the best setting for a young family and their little one that's experiencing challenges, particularly if it relates to sleeping and other tricky areas.
The move is made on the basis of construction and other ongoing costs. MP Steph Cook has now started discussions with the Health Minister to overturn the decision. The Cowra Tresillian Day service will continue to operate as normal. Well, Kirsty is here now for a look at today's weather. And Kirsty, was warm overnight and we've seen some showers today.
Yeah, that's right, Nick and Maddie. A little bit unsettled once again today. Hello, everyone. We slept through very warm weather overnight. A lot of cloud cover trapped in yesterday's heat. Minimums as high as 19 degrees in Parkes and in Forbes. That's at least 5 degrees warmer than our minimum November averages. Showers moved through in the north with around 6 millimetres between midnight and 8 a.m. in Coonabarabran today. That wet weather increased in the west around the mid-morning, also migrating southwards through Mudgee with 3 millimetres of rain, as well as Wellington. Oranges picked up 4 millimetres and wet weather for Bathurst too. Very windy weather, and we also had quite a high humidity. Persistent showers likely again tomorrow. I'll have a closer look at our weekend weather forecast after sport.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Kirsty. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Still to come in 7 News, a tiny cafe delivers a big opportunity to learn some new skills.
And a small town is looking merry and bright in its quest to become the state's best.
And a little later on this news hour, we are hours out from Hamas releasing hostages in a major prisoner exchange. Some serious questions, though, over Australia's border security after the arrival of an asylum seeker boat, and violent protesters launched fireworks at police in Dublin.
Welcome back. A unique mobile cafe built in stages by teachers over 800 kilometres apart has finally arrived in Dubbo. The project will be used to train regional hospitality high school students as they prepare for the Sydney Royal Easter Show.
Hidden behind the red ribbon is a caterer's paradise. This is inside the newly launched mobile tiny cafe project, which now calls Dubbo College Senior Campus home. The facility providing a student training base for vet hospitality courses.
So how this will look, it will be our students being able to have work experience and work service periods whilst they're here during their timetable of classes.
But getting here took more than 800 kilometres, built in stages by construction teachers in Maruya, then on to Wagga, before finally reaching Dubbo.
This is the first time we've actually travelled our immersion program to make it easier for our teachers and also to get our regional teachers the opportunity for that experience.
Give us those industry skills that we can then take back to our students in school and improve their outcomes in vet also.
Already serving up delicious food and drinks, the ready-for-use mobile tiny cafe is all about exposing students to hospitality industry standards.
And as you can see, it's a mobile facility, so it not only will benefit my school community, but also benefit other school communities that may not have the resources that we do as a senior campus.
But in a matter of months, the innovative cafe will once again hit the road. Regional students to serve the thousands of visitors who attend the Sydney Royal Easter Show, bringing with it a taste of the Aboriginal culture.
We've now redeveloped the menu, so every menu item on the tasting plate will have an Indigenous ingredient.
Hamish Southwell, 7 News.
A local town is taking the festive season to a whole new level, going above and beyond to share their cheer with locals and visitors alike. Small businesses are doing their part to make Canowindra the top Christmas decoration in New South Wales.
The mercury's not dropping, but Canowindra's Gaskell Street is turning into a winter wonderland, each storefront setting the scene.
I love everything about Christmas. It's the Santas, it's the gnomes, it's the reindeers. I don't know. I just like to surround myself with it 24/7 if I could.
Tommy Jeffs, owner of local bed and breakfast Montrose House, used to design David Jones's Christmas windows. His skill set clearly on display.
The enthusiasm for this town for the Christmas thing now is absolutely brilliant. And it gets bigger and bigger every year. So the people walk in here and go, oh my God, but it's the best time of year. And it's the time you can go overboard with it.
Maz Boyd owns Cobwebs and Curios, possibly displaying the most Christmas decorations in town per square metre. And she's done it for a reason.
This year, a lot of people are embracing Christmas more than ever, purely just to get back with their family, particularly after COVID and like the floods.
The initiative hoping to boost tourism.
We've had, I think, 6 new businesses in the last 12 months, which is like huge for a small country town. We need as much business as we can. There's a drought on at the moment, so every little penny counts in town.
Canowindra set to keep the festive cheer going all the way to Christmas Day. Charlotte Wallen, 7 News.
Up next in 7 News, who will lift the Western Women's Rugby League Premiership trophy?
And junior indoor hockey players hit the courts as New South Wales titles are up for grabs in Orange.
Welcome back. Orange's PCYC has come to life today for the start of the Under-15s Indoor Hockey State Championships. Boys and girls teams are set to contest 4 days of competition.
Hitting the court for the opening match of the championships, Bathurst went up against Coffs Coast. Playing in Division 2, the Coasties got their tournament off to a good start. On the other side of the Division 2 draw is Parks. They opened their account against Northwest Sydney.
Is it a cool chance too to maybe stick it to the other Central West teams as well?
Yeah, they're going to get smashed by Parks. We're the best team.
The local teams drawing lines in the sand early. The Sydney Siders are up for the challenge, setting some lofty goals.
Make it to finals and probably win.
Kaylee, same thing?
Just to dominate and have fun, really.
Indoor hockey is very different to outdoor. It's a difficult skill set to master.
Not letting the ball come off the ground, especially hitting off the boards.
Yeah, and trying to keep your stick down wherever you go.
It's much more faster, and I think you have to use more skill knowing that you can't lift the ball. And so it's really much more of a team because you can't go through everyone.
It sounds like teamwork makes the dream work. The girls' state champion will be decided on Sunday. The girls won't be the only ones hitting the court this weekend. The boys' state championship kicks off tomorrow. They'll play their grand final on Monday. PCYC will be packed to the rafters this weekend with the state's best indoor hockey talent on display. Mac Reith-Snare, 7 News.
Some of our state's best amateur cricketers have made their way to Orange for the McDonald's Country Championships. Day one of the tournament saw the covers come on and off multiple times because of rain, making for a slow start to the championships. Western will play Central Coast on Saturday and Riverina on Sunday. Both fixtures will take place at Wade Park. And in local cricket, Bathurst and Orange Inter-District Cricket will only feature 3 games after Central's drop down to second grade for the rest of the season. A bit further west, and Dubbo District Cricket will contest round 7 of their comp. Carcoar Dam Sailing Club will celebrate a huge milestone this weekend, and they're hitting the water to do it. The club is turning 50 and is opening its doors to the public. Boats will be hitting the water with a jumping castle on dry land for the little ones. There'll also be dragon boat showcases featuring clubs from around the region. People of all abilities will be able to hit the water with help from Sailability Central West. Our region's premier women's rugby league team will fight for glory this weekend. Panorama Platypi will take on Vipers for the title of Western Women's Rugby League champion.
They've been a dominant force all season. The Platypi were crowned minor premiers for a reason. This weekend, Panorama skipper Sarah Coleman and her Platypi side will make a bid for premiership history.
I think everyone's feeling really good. You know, it's our 3rd grand final in a row, so everyone's really up and pumped for it. We want to go 3 from 3, so yeah, everyone's really excited. I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a really great day tomorrow.
Standing in their way is gun hooker Ella Barrett and her Vipers, who dominated their semi-final against Goannas.
It was a very physical match. I think everyone needed that week off just to have a bit of a rest. But I think we were pretty proud of ourselves. We put in a big effort and working together and, yeah, came off.
Ahead of their decider, Coleman and the Platypi are keeping their cards close to their chest.
We've got a few game plans in place, so if we just stick to the plans, stick to, you know, what Kev's put in place for us, I think we'll come out on top, but at the end of the day, it'll just be a good game of footy.
As for Vipers, Captain Barrett knows they'll have to be at their best to topple the 2-time defending premiers.
We're going to have to be really good in defence, really good in attack, and just in communication.
Grand final day kicks off tomorrow at 10:30 with the under-12s in Bathurst at Jack Arrow Sporting Complex. Vipers have an incredible 4 teams in the 5 deciders, while the Platypi boast 3. Mac Reith-Snare, 7 News.
Up next in 7 News, Kirsty's back and she's got your weekend weather forecast. That's next.
Welcome back, everyone. A low pressure system is generating unstable weather while troughs over New South Wales are triggering showers and thunderstorm activity. We're feeling humid conditions too, with warm winds being pulled southwards into New South Wales and Victoria. We will get this brief period of more settled weather through Monday morning, I should say, before troughs gain moisture again early next week, leading to this more widespread rainfall. Some parts of the state could see more than 100 millimetres of rain, particularly if severe thunderstorms develop. Now, storms by their characteristics do give inconsistent rainfall amounts, so more broadly speaking across the state, rainfall totals are hovering around that 50 millimetre mark. If we take a look to our weekend weather, those showers are forecast overnight tonight and likely to continue across the day tomorrow, between 5 and 15 millimetres for the entire Central West, and that chance of storms around. The morning feeling windy as temperatures just reach the high teens in orange. That wet weather again through Sunday, dropping to around 4 to 7 millimetres, that highest chance of rain over the slopes and plains. Storms around again, a warm day at Nyngan and for Coonamble, tops of 30 degrees and windy conditions up to 30 kilometres an hour. A cool wind change moving through, bringing a chill up from the southwest. Bathurst 25 and Young 25 degrees. Into Monday, we will start to see that reprieve in the morning, partly cloudy and certainly drier conditions. A late rumble of thunder is possible. Cooler winds around, no more than just a light breeze as Forbes reach a maximum of 29 degrees, Cowra 27 and Young partly cloudy with a top of 26. Taking a look at next week, and a new trough will generate more wet weather from Tuesday. We can see that through both Dubbo and through Orange in the west. Totals of between 50 and 70 millimetres are possible over the coming 8 days for the Central West. We're certainly kicking off our weekend with wet weather. We've already seen some of it today. A little wet out there. You'll need your gumboots, maybe an umbrella or two before a bit of a drier day arrives on Monday.
Yeah, a very soggy weekend ahead.
Right, yeah.
Thanks, Kirsty. Have a good one yourself.
And that is your local news for the night and for the week. Thanks for watching. You can always catch up on our website or, of course, at 7+.
Right now, though, Dan has your national news. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you again on Monday night at 6 o'clock. See you there.